And the first story I want to discuss, although you're all more than welcome to discuss the other issues of the day and comment on them on the blog, is this new AP Yahoo News poll, which finds that most voters believe that John McCain is more qualified to handle Iraq than Barack Obama. Now, here's what I find very interesting about the results. Other polling indicates that the majority of Americans want the U.S. to withdraw from Iraq. That's what Obama wants to do. McCain says, hey, it's good that we're in there. I voted for this invasion. I did the right thing by voting for this invasion. I support the surge. The surge is working. And yet, you would think then that the majority of people would want him not to be commander-in-chief, but a majority want him to be commander-in-chief. Let's go first to our political correspondent, Alan Jacey. Alan, what do you make of this? It seems like a mixed message we, the people, are giving the pollsters.
Yeah, it is, Gary. I mean, again, it's like, you know, the old saying, hate the war but love the warrior. I think that that's what's happening in the case of John McCain. I mean, again, it is early because that happens to be the one area where McCain in polling has shown to have the strongest lead over Obama. He still trails on the economy. He trails on a number of other issues, but certainly, this is when it comes to Iraq, it's playing into McCain's strong point, which is certainly, his knowledge of military policy, and he is certainly reaping the benefits of this poll. But it's interesting, when I read through some of the poll results and some of the people that were interviewed, they said while they believe McCain is stronger on dealing with the situation in Iraq, that doesn't necessarily mean that they would vote for him. So there's a fine line there.
Well, let me read you a comment to my blog posting about this issue written by some anonymous reader. Let's face it, this person writes, even the cut-and-run Democrats realize that we're in Iraq for the duration. That's why they continue funding the war. Anyone with an ounce of sense knows that McCain is most qualified to be a wartime president. Forget all the hype about Obama. Forget your fears that he'll be elected. He won't. America needs a strong military mind like John McCain in the White House. Well, that's one person's opinion. What's yours? Let's go to Mike in Maryland. Mike, welcome to News Talk Online on Paltalk.com.
Thanks a lot, Gary. Yeah, if I had my choice between McCain and Obama dealing with Iraq, it would be McCain. It's very simple. Obama, he wants to do it unilaterally. McCain, he wants to withdraw the troops slowly but surely. Once that Iraq can defend themselves, we'll keep on pulling them out, battalion by battalion. I would trust a vet from Vietnam over a man who, during the Pledge of Allegiance, up until last week, never wore the American flag on his lapel, even in the Senate. And yet when the American Legion would play, or the Star-Spangled Banner, I should say, what would Obama do? He would put his hands down over his crotch, not over his heart.
Wait a minute. Whoa. You say down over his crotch as if he was doing something obscene and disrespectful. A lot of people do that. They stand with their hands folded, at arm's length. So, let's be careful about how we characterize this.
Well, okay, Gary, let's put it this way. If a man puts his hands in the front of his pants, not at his side, that's totally different. Obama puts his in the front where his groin
Look,
is.
look. I don't know whether the camera can show this or not, but I see many people very respectfully. Well, it doesn't show below my belt here. Unless Alan, let's come here and pull the camera back a little bit. But a lot of people stand there like this during the Pledge of Allegiance. A lot of people stand there like this. Okay? That's not a sign of disrespect. No, it's not holding your hand over your heart as you're supposed to. But it's not a sign of disrespect. It's not an obscene gesture, Mike, that he was making.
Well, okay, let's take one step back. Obama, when he came into the Senate, that was after 9/11. Now, I was up in New York when that occurred as a firefighter.
What's that? I'm sorry, I missed what you said, Mike. What was that?
I worked as a firefighter in New York City on 9/11. I trust Obama about as far as I can throw him. I want a president that can take care of our troops the way that George Bush came up and took care of the firefighters and the rescue workers.
You know something, Mike? Mike, let me just say this about that, because you really touch on a subject that's very near and dear to my heart, because, as you know, I'm a big supporter of the first responders. While everybody else was running away from the World Trade Center, you and your brother firefighters were running into the jaws of death, literally. And the president did stand on the pile with a megaphone, and he made some very strong statements about being with you and being with me as a resident here. And he was cheered. And by the way, at that moment, I happened to be walking through Times Square, and all the jumbotrons were playing this, and of course they were scrolling the text of what he was saying, because there are no speakers on those jumbotrons. And believe me, everybody in Times Square stopped and watched that, and there were people crying because it was such an emotional moment. And now